It's not a walkthrough, playthrough, review, anything like that. It's just me playing the game badly so you can see what it looks like. Right then, this is Super Cobra on the Atari 2600. By Parker Brothers, I think, if I remember rightly. This is, technically speaking, the sequel. In the arcades it was the sequel to Scramble. But in the arcades, or at least on other versions of the game that I've played, it's very different to this. This is a very basic rendition of the game that actually seems to me to play a lot more like Scramble in some ways. It was certainly the nearest you could get to Scramble on the 2600, which disappointed me. I actually really wanted a good version of Scramble, and you know, it was this or nothing. I like this. I loved it back in the day. I still like it now. I mean, it's limited in many ways, in particular the music. Yeah, and the scrolling and general movement, I mean, you can see it moving in blocks. But it's good enough. Wow. It's challenging, and it's consistent. You know that if you waggle your joystick a certain way, your little helicopter will move in a particular way. And once you're used to that, and that you fire your missiles or bullets and your bombs with the same button, then it's just like one then the other, it's possible to get to grips with the game and do quite well. I never beat it. I would always reach a certain point that I could not get past, but that didn't matter. I played it a lot, many, you know, repeat goes in one sitting, because it's got a good balance, risk and reward, and just general. This bastard, that's one of the ones that was always tricky to get by. And of course, if you die, you go right back to the beginning. I mean, the rockets do look very unfortunately like, well, a penis and a pair of nads, shall we say? Yes, male genitalia. That's what I'm being attacked by male. You know, you get the picture by now. Shan't labour the point, but it's fun, it's simple, it's very basic, and it doesn't matter. Oh dear, it does everything that it needs to. It doesn't do any more than it needs to. There is nothing where you are like going and go, wow, that was clever. There's not much that's clever going on. It's like meat and potatoes. There isn't even any greens, you know, but that's all right. You can make, I don't know. I had a train of thought going on there that didn't really make any sense, so I just won't bother with it. Anyway, I'll keep going for a bit. Just, let's see, can I get past this geezer? Yes. Because he's hard. So's his brother. Ooh. I'm going to meet him. He's, Was it Stelio Contos? Is that it? Some of you will know what I'm talking about. He's that hard. Oh no. Some of the explosion effects are a bit off. These are weak compared to like the there. That's just a bit rubbish. These are actually really rubbish compared to the meteors or whatever that you would get on Scramble. These are just lame. But that's alright, it's like it gives you a breather. Gives you a chance to refill your fuel. I think you could probably just fly under these and, yeah, not have to worry about it. Oh, well, not that one maybe. Yeah, make yourself a cup of tea. trying to think what they're cheesy puffs. These are clearly a cheese flavoured corn snack from space that will kill you if you fly into it. But you know, don't worry about flying into it, just eat it perhaps. Worry about your waistline later, all those calories and all those E numbers from that pretend cheese flavour that doesn't really taste like any cheese you've ever eaten, but is still pleasant. In a, what's that stuff called? Monosodium glutamate kind of way, yes. How far have we got to go? Don't know. Don't have a clue really. It is repetitive. It shouldn't be fun. This level is probably the least challenging and probably the least fun, but it doesn't matter. When all you had was this or combat and maybe Space War or something, or Night Driver, you played things like this and you were grateful because it was a proper game, where some games really weren't. Some games you had to use a lot of imagination just to believe it was a game, never mind anything else. I mean, here you've got to use a bit of imagination to believe that that is a landscape and those are rockets. But that kind of imagination is okay. There are some Atari games where you've got to imagine you're having fun, or that it is in any way a game that is entertaining. And when you've got to imagine that, you know you've got a cartridge. We won't call it a game. A duff piece of shovelware. And there's so much of that. I mean, I didn't find myself lumbered with much in the way of shovelware back in the day. I read Computer and... Oh, no. Oh, bollocks. I read Computer and Video Games magazine, which was like the thing to read back then if you were a gamer. And, you know, if they said something was good, back then you could trust the magazines. If they said a game was good, it was good. If they said it was shite, it very likely was shite. Sometimes they were perhaps a little bit off, if they were comparing a game. Case in point is Pole Position and Enduro. Enduro was considered great, Pole Position not. And I stood by that belief myself for a very long time, where there was more to it than that, and they kind of ignored certain things that maybe they shouldn't have. But generally, you know, you could trust the magazines. Are there still magazines? I don't know. I certainly don't read them anymore. But you know, review sites now, isn't it? I don't watch them. I don't trust them. I watch YouTube, and if someone on YouTube says a game is good and there's someone I trust, then I give it a go. But anyway, yes, magazines back then, I read them, so I didn't wind up with any shovelware, and I thought that was pleasing. I've almost, not quite, got now every game that I owned back then for the 2600. I'm missing a couple. I'm missing Jedi Arena and Return of the Jedi. Yeah, I had them back in the day and I haven't got them now. Oh, and Amidar, I haven't got that either. But I think I've got everything else I had back then. I mean, there were games that I borrowed or rented. There was actually a shop that you could rent them from back in 1984. But anyway, I'll stop now. This could go on for a while. Or shall I keep going? I don't know. I don't know how far it was I managed to get back in the day. I mean, there is a finite... Oh, bollocks. Continue. No, we won't. It's nice that it allows you to. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is Super Cobra by Parker Brothers on the Atari 2600. I like it. It's limited, it's basic, it does what it says on the tin, and that's all you need. Thank you for watching.
Hello. That Benway chap's got and left me to do his outro for him. Lazy sod. Anyway, he puts out videos of like gameplay nonsense and stuff on a fairly regular basis. So if you don't want to miss any, hit the subscribe button. And if you've already done that, well, thank you. Oh yes, while I think of it, if you're waiting for a new video from him, why not check out his playlists? He's got around 1,500 videos already recorded and separated into categories according to system, whatever that means. Yes. Are we done yet? Jolly good. Man's a blithering idiot if you ask me, but there you go. Right, where's the whiskey?